Okay, so I think a lot of people in the previous video that I made on this event, well, the previous video, think that I don't like it because it was difficult, and that was not the issue. Yeah, I did the third stage. I've sort of recorded this video a couple times, but the reason why I don't like this event is because they force you to use these characters that have awful builds. So in combination with, sometimes not even having a good team whatsoever, you're also given horrible builds, right? Oh my, I forgot, he's not on Emblem. Yeah. So, and by horrible builds, I mean Ganyu with 57% crit rate on Blizzard Strayer.
And why is that bag on your head?
Why? Oh, no reason. Except you gave me the ugly.
Basically, it's the exact same. Every single character is given the exact same build except for energy recharge. If we look, 105 elemental mastery, 105 elemental mastery. Now, sometimes they know what they're doing better than other times, right? Because you also get 13,000 health here, but you only get 7,000 here, right? They know what they're doing, right? In some instances. But I feel like they've just decided, the crit rate, crit damage, whatever, just throw that same number on them all the time. It's great, right? Because I love Xingqiu having 57% crit rate and then 90% crit damage. And then also my Fiorina having 176. If I was not running Fiorina with another Hydro, this would be an issue. Because it's not only that Fiorina has only 176 energy recharge, it's that she also doesn't have Favonius, right? That's a huge thing. My Fiorina, I think, has... I'll check after this, right?
Why are you the way that you are?
Yeah, I forgot to show that. Also, 66%. Did I accidentally swap an artifact? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But my Fiorina is at like 217 with Favonius. This is just the correct weapon to run on her. No other weapon, Sacrificial Sword, wasn't able to match it. It's because of the generation of particles gets amplified by, the amount of energy recharge. So rather than, this weapon giving her 6 energy, it's really giving her like 12, which is like 1/6 of her burst, which is really, really good. It's definitely not enough. And another thing is, I get that her weapon does actually give you 16% more, but like I said, I have over 200, and I still had, well, I don't have any energy issues anymore, but I used to, right?
No. Wait.
I made like a whole video on it, like people told me to use Favonius, and it basically changed from night and day. Now, I'll just mention it now. I do mention it later in the video, but yeah, sure. There are certain phases where her energy is gonna be, way more acceptable than my energy. Because it's like half and half. Sometimes there's like 7 enemies that go down really quick and you get a whole bunch of energy from them. But other times, no. That's the times that you have to prepare for in my eyes. In my eyes, you should not have energy issues unless you know, like, oh, this is going to be specifically a whole bunch of enemies. I'm gonna, skimp out on my energy recharge for more damage, right? Unless it's like one of those times, I do not think that is a correct amount of energy recharge. I just don't. We'll talk about it when we get to Shangling, but yeah, that's just something I needed to say. Let's go. We're just gonna try and do as much as we can. It's not as bad as I once thought, but these awful builds, and that's not an excuse or a way for them to make the game more difficult. That would be, if you think that's the way that they should make the game more difficult, no, that's not. Let me use my characters that I've built forever and actually make difficult content based on, whether you want to make it more HP sponges. And I heard that a lot in the comments, right? More HP spongy characters, is that what all you want? No, I don't want that. But I'd prefer if there was actual difficult content that maybe, like the Hydro Tupla or whatever, right? There was an actual reason to run a serious shield character in there, rather than, oh, let me just throw in all my DPS characters, because the Hydro Tupla just one-shot you. You didn't have a choice. It was just one-shots. I think we might try Ayato, Shangling, and then you. Sure. I don't know, man. This is gonna be so awful. But yeah, we're gonna let Shangling cook. You're right. And yeah, this is gonna be our team. I mean, it works a lot better than previous, but you'll quickly find out that yeah, it's a two-edged sword. Okay. So, well, yeah, now it doesn't seem like an issue, right? Because you know, you could see I had Shangling, she was great, she was on cooldown and had her burst up. But in a minute, it's gonna be an issue because you're gonna see that, hey, we don't have 7 enemies to kill.
2 seconds later.
So yeah, Shangling's burst isn't up. I don't know how I would get it up right now, but we're just gonna try and do damage with Ayato. All right, yeah, see, look, it's great, it's great. I love when, you know, I don't have my Shangling who has a proper build on her, you know, yeah. And now we get to use Mono Hydra, which is an actual competent team. Like, it just goes between, like, you know, you have to sort of select characters that you think will end up working well, and it's a whole thing. But I like this kind of gameplay. Like, I like having to select my team. It's the characters' builds that are awful, that I hate, and I don't like using whatsoever. You know, I don't have an issue with this event. Like, this event in terms of, like, you know, proper, you know, gameplay, I think it's great, but it's just the fact that they force you to use these builds. So here we go. Now we have an actual team, but I'd like to point out, I was not lying before. 57% crit rate, 120 crit damage, right? And it's the same exact build. 105 elemental mastery, and then 35% energy recharge. It's the same build on every character. They just control C, control V. It's literally just the same build. I'll show you Kazuha's weird build, and you know, afterwards. But yeah, it's awful. I hate Kazuha's build. Yeah, with Bennett. Oh wow, Shangling has 50% of her energy. You're great. It's great. With Bennett, she has 50% of her energy. All right. Yeah, I love when I do 25,000 in Bennett's circle, by the way. I'd like to point that out. For as much as they want you to vaporize and what, it was melt, they give you no pyro characters in this. Like, it's so weird. Shangling is like the only pyro character I've actually gotten.
Am I a joke to you?
4 minutes. Like, this stage was the longest by far. Let's go look at Kazuha's build, because I'd like to point out something on, like, it's so dumb how they have Kazuha's build. Like, it is actually inconceivable how they ended up making Kazuha's build look like this. Kazuha has 464 elemental mastery. Stupid! But that's not triple EM Kazuha. This piece doesn't have EM on it. This piece doesn't have EM on it. This piece doesn't have EM on it. That's because none of these artifacts are actually artifacts. It is merely just a set, and they put in the numbers towards the character. So they don't even build the characters correctly. Like, if anybody with half a brain cell built these characters, I'm sorry to whoever built these characters, but dude, I don't know whether it was a mandated, you have to make the most simplest builds for these characters, make sure that they're not too, you know, whatever. Whoever built these characters, they must have been under some serious constraints by, like, corporate. I literally, I cannot conceive a single way of why characters are built like this.
You're ugly, you're disgusting, I'm gonna kill you, give me $200.
So I've now built Kazuha on a separate application, right, where he has triple EM and nothing else. Nothing else, no buffs, nothing. With triple EM, would have 647. Yeah, he would have 647. That's almost 100 less than this. It's 80 less, like 83 less. So what if he just has, like, you know, one of them isn't elemental mastery? Well, that would bump him down to 460. So what if he just has 104 elemental mastery from, you know, substats, right? And they're using an energy recharge sands. An energy recharge sands gives you 51% energy, 51.8% energy recharge. And he has sacrificial sword. So that's giving him also sacrificial sword, really. 30-second cooldown, 40%, really. 51% combined with, you know, 55%. That's 106. So that means he should have 206. You want to know what energy recharge he has? 190. These builds are so incompetent that they actually do not abide by any meaning. Like, you could build a better Kazuha just with an actually using artifacts on him. Because all of these artifacts, by the way, they're level 20. If you actually use artifacts on him, you would have a better Kazuha.
Oh no, this can't be.
So I think I figured it out, guys. They're using an attack percent sans.
No.
Ha 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 ha. No, actually they can't be, because I was looking at it as if it was Dull Blade. And, well, let's just say it's not actually that, because if I use an attack percent sans along with a level 20 feather, it's plus 620, and theirs was plus 520, not 620. I'm gonna just go quickly check and make sure that's true. Yep, 520. So, yeah, and also, all my calculations have been on an 80 out of 80. Or I say calculations, it's just a simulation of what it would be, right? I'm just using one of these Genshin calculators in order to, you know, put artifacts on, you know, my guy. But yeah, it legitimately cannot even be that. It can't even be an attack percent sans. They don't even think about the builds that they make. I'm telling, there's no way that these are level 20 artifacts that they're using, because I actually cannot make sense. Plus 7,000. Wait, hold on. We're gonna figure this out together, guys. We're gonna figure out what sans they think that they're using. I've made another breakthrough. Like, in between, I realized, wait, what if Kazuha just has animo damage bonus, right? I didn't think about that. I didn't think they would give him animo damage bonus. It was just out of the realm of possibility for me, because honestly, when you're a character who is a support character, you would think that they would try and buff your support capabilities, but they don't. I forgot. We're looking at Genshin. So yeah, the goblet is what changed, right? But that's not all, right? Because, you know, you would think, okay, that's actually really good, because in this chamber specifically, you get 60% crit rate. So this is actually really, really good design, but I can prove that it's not intentional. Nevi. So this set gives you 50% normal and charge attack, or 15%, not 50. Yeah, 15% normal and charge attack damage bonus. All right, that's cool. I believe Wanderer's Troop would work on Nevi, by the way. I believe it should. It's 4 catalyst, it's 4 charge attacks. It should work on Nevi. So we've established that 60% crit rate. If you even get 3 stacks of this, you're at like, what, 96% crit rate. You're literally at 96% crit rate. And that's without calculating Nevi's actual crit rate. Yeah, he's got 145% crit rate. This set should have been swapped, but we all know they don't really care about what actually their characters' builds are. I mean, come on. Kazuha's build took me forever to figure out, because it's so dumb. I've now spent so long thinking about this one Kazuha build, and I hate it. Overall, it wasn't intentional. They definitely knew. Like, if we see Kazuha again in this event, he's not going to have 60% crit rate to defend himself. He's going to have 46%, like 61% animo damage bonus, actually. And he's not going to be able to defend himself whatsoever, because why? Why are you buffing 61% of nothing? You would honestly get more damage from actually putting more EM on him, I feel like. Or you would get more damage not only from his buff, but from his swirls. Yeah, it's so idiotic, but yeah. I'm trying to keep this video short. That's going to be it for this section. Go back to the normal one.
I can smell the failure.
These builds are so awful. It's so bad. So even if this event was difficult, which it's not, honestly. The first challenge tricked me, because I tried using Lenny. He failed pretty miserably because the enemies would not allow themselves to be applied with pyro. They just kept applying themselves with different elements, right? So it was very hard for me to actually properly use Lenny. So I tried using Lenny, you know, and I can't really... I tried, right? I don't use Lenny whatsoever. He's a character that's completely unknown to me almost. I just know that his burst does a lot of damage. You do like a charge attack, then you restart the rotation for the entire team, right? Because Lenny's team is like, I think Kazuha, Shangling, Bennett, and that's a really good team for him, right? Because it's just Mono Pyro, right? Or Mono Pyro, but with Kazuha. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.